Good morning, this is Nicholas from Gandora Gaming, and we got a lot of reveals for us today. I think they just said fuck it, and they said we're gonna reveal every new card in OP11 because I think we went from 9 reveals yesterday. I think we have like 20 something new cards. It's kind of ridiculous, and I'm gonna try to speed through all of them. So bear with me. We have a shit ton of new cards. We got the last of the green cards, most of the red cards, some even new purple cards. We got a whole bunch of colors to go over with you all today. So let's just get straight into this. I hope you enjoy, like and subscribe. We're going to go release order. First things first, we have a brand new Jaguar D Saw, the new 6-cost 6K power giant O'Hara for Navy. On play, if your leader is Nico Robin, you have 7 or more Don. Cards on the field, draw 2 cards. Trigger, activate this card's on play effect. This card is absolutely great for Nico Robin. Not only is it an O'Hara card, so it's another card to search, but it just says, hey, because you're ramping so much, just draw 2. Its triggers draw 2, so you can trash it for leader ability. Everything about this card is pretty awesome. Its stats are a little ass, but it's still just a draw 2 on play. What's not more to love? Pretty great card. She all the way. Next, we have Emperor Blade. It's a new 6-cost Big Mom Pirates for Emperor's card. It's a new 6-cost purple event. Activate main, you may declare 1 cost choice. Reveal the top card of your opponent's deck. If it's the cost is the revealed cost. KO to all your opponent's characters with 8 or less. Trigger, add 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck instead as active. So this card's pretty cool. Basically, it's for the new Katakuri leader. You do Katakuri leader effect. Reveal the top card of your opponent's deck. Then you activate Emperor Blade and you kill any 8-cost or less character, which is pretty solid. And ultimately, that is really good. I will say, on the other hand, I think this card is just a worse version of a card that already exists, that is already searchable in the Big Mom Pirates deck. It's not a Big Mom Pirates card, it's a Kaido card, but we already have a Big Mom Kaido searcher, so I don't know. I think it's Ragnarok, if I remember correctly. It's a card that came out in OP08 as well. Ragnarok. Yeah, no, it's a 5-cost event. Yeah, it came out in EBO1. It's a 5-cost. Activate main, -1 Dawn. KO 20 opponents, 8 or less characters. It is trigger is set 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck is active. I feel like this is just a better. I think that Ragnarok is just a better version of this new card, honestly. Like, I don't know why you would ever play this over that, besides this being a Big Mom card, and that's a Kaido card. So I guess in a pure Big Mom deck, you wouldn't be able to search it. But you do have the event card that does also search Kaido card. I don't know. Ultimately, it's a cool card, whatever. But I think it's just a worse version of a card that already exists. Next, we have Kumazuki Orochi. This is a 3-cost 4K power, 1,000 counter. Lanowano Kurazumi family card. On play, add 1 card type with Smile with 5 or less for your trash to hand. Really cool card. It helps out the black, purple Smile cards, which is pretty awesome. I'm a big fan of the Smile archetype. They all suck ass, but I think that the fact that they keep printing out new cards for them is pretty awesome. I just wish they're a lot better. Personally, I would love to play a Smile engine. However, that currently doesn't really exist, and it's just a new card to add to the list of cards that probably need some help. Next, we have some new film cards. We have film Navy cards. So this is technically red Uta support, but it's also red purple Uta support, but it's also Kobe support because it's Navy. It's also Smoker support because Smoker's red, green, and he's Navy as well. So consider it a whole bunch of support for a whole bunch of decks. So this is Borsalino. It's a 3/3 power, 1,000 counter, film Navy blocker. Activate main, you may rest this character. If your leader is Navy type, your leader character can attack active characters during the turn this was activated. Really solid blocker. Now this is definitely more support towards the red-green Smoker leader, and of course the lovely new Kobe leader and Garp leader. And that's really about it. Even though it's a film card, it's not really fitting in the film deck, so keep that in mind. Next, we have a brand new Ilsilly, or Isili. It's Ishilly. It's a 2-cost 1,000 counter. Merfolk Fishman Island. Once a turn on your opponent's attack, you may rest one of your Dawn. Give up to one of your leaders or characters plus 1,000 power during his turn. I like this card. I hate that it rested itself because it is just a 0-cost character. But it basically makes your leader a 6k Jinbei, which is pretty nice. Every leader besides Shirahoshi in this set actually has a way to become a 6k leader now. Because, of course, blue-purple Luffy's already 6k. The blue-yellow Nami ability allows her to become a 7k. And the lovely Katakuri's ability allows him to become a 6k by minusing a Dawn. And now we have a Jinbei who can rest a Dawn with this card in order to gain 1,000 power. And of course, the Kobe leader also become a 6k with the 8-cost Kobe. So really cool. I love that every leader in this deck besides the Shirahoshi can become a 6k leader. I just wish this card was just a better statted. And I don't know. I feel like they really did Jinbei dirty with some of these cards. Next we have Ein. Now this is definitely a film card, which is really nice. This is a film Neo Navy card, 3 cost, 4k power, 1,000 counter on play. Give it to one of your opponent's characters minus 1,000 power during his turn. Then KO to one of your opponent's characters with 0 power or less. Pretty okay card. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It is another film card that loses power. However, I don't know if it's good enough. Like, you minus 1,000 power and then you KO is 0 cost. So I guess with leader ability, you could go purple, red Uta, leader ability, ramp 1 by trashing a film card, give minus 2,000 power to a character. Then play this, give another minus 1,000 power. So if the character was originally 3,000 or less, this card will pop it. But I don't know. That's really about it. That's the small threshold. I kind of wish this thing killed 2,000 power or less, or it gave much more power deficit, because it is just a 34. I don't know. I feel like this card could have been better. Next we have Gotti. This is a brand new fire tank card. This card is a 3 cost, 4k power, 2k counter, fire tank pirates. When attacking, you may discard 1 card from your type with a fire tank from your hand. Return one of your opponent's costs 1 or less to the bottom of its owner's deck to their hand. Or bottom to their deck or hands. I don't know why you ever give it to their hand. It's just a number 3/4, 2k counter for the fire tank pirates. I really wish we got a Capone game beige leader. I don't know why we keep getting a whole bunch of Fire King pirate cards if we're not getting that leader. So that kind of sucks. Next we have Fuku Rokuju. I know that's not his name. It's Fuku Bashi. It's a 3 cost, 5k power merfolk. Fishman Island type. No counter. And this card would be KO'd by your opponent's card effect. You may rest 1 Shirahoshi or a leader or Fishman Island stage instead. On play, add a top or bottom of your life to your hand to KO one of your opponent's 1 cost characters or less. I like that it is just the free 5 that allows you to basically always have this card live, because your leader will always be able to rest. However, I don't like that this card only kills 1 cost characters. That kind of sucks. Also, I hate that you have to take a life in order to KO a 1 cost character. That kind of sucks. I don't know. This card's decent. I can see being played for just an ability to be KO'd or rested. Oh no, this card would be KO'd by any means. You just rest the leader or rest a Fishman Island stage, which kind of feels like the kind of protection that that Kiro's 3 cost does in Rebecca. However, I just don't know. It feels like the same card, but worse. I don't know. Next, we have Fishman Island. This is a new yellow stage. Fishman Island. Activate once a turn. If your leader is Shirahoshi, you may turn the top of your life face up. Give up to one of your leaders or Sea Kings 1,000 power during this turn. This card's interesting. It turns your life face up in order to give 1,000 power to a Sea King or Fishman. However, the whole point of Shirahoshi is to flip her life up with her leader ability in order to cheat out a character. So this is kind of counteracting that. However, there's plenty of Fishman cards now that we've seen that kind of flip your life face down. So maybe it's kind of wanting you to flip your life up with Shirahoshi's leader ability, then flip your life down with some other character, then use stage to flip it up again to give a character pounds and power. I don't know. It seems a little convoluted because then you have to worry about your opponent taking your life in order to then have your life down again. I don't know. Next, we have new Yonji. This is the last of the Vinsmoke cards, I think. Or if there is more, we just haven't seen them yet. It's a 4/5, 4 cost, 5,000 power, 1,000 counter. Vinsmoke family, Germa 66, blocker. If this is the only character on your field with Germa, if there are only characters on the field with Germa, this card can be KO'd or rested by your opponent's effects. I like that last part. I like that this card cannot be rested by your opponent's effects or KO'd by your opponent's effects. Overall, it's a pretty decent 4/5 blocker. I don't know if this justifies us playing the Yonji package again. A lot of people cut Yonji out of their Reiju decks because the other blocker isn't that great. I don't know if this blocker is good enough in order to fit him back in, but I do like this as a 4/5 that can't be rested, and it can't be KO'd by card effects. In a late game, that could definitely win you some games. Next, we have Hanchan. This is a 4 cost 5k, 1,000 counter Fishman Island, former Arlon Pilots card. You may rest this character if your leader is Fisher or Merfolk. Up to one of your opponent's 3 costs or less may not be rested until the end of the next turn. Interesting card. Basically, it freezes one of your opponent's 3 costs or less characters. It's a 4/5. I don't know how I feel about this card. Honestly, I feel like they just did Jinbei dirty. Like, don't get me wrong, I think some of his cards are cool. Like, definitely the Fisher Tiger and the Arlong and the Jinbei are cool cards. But everything else they revealed for that leader has really not lived up for it. And not to mention, most of the cards in green are actually Shirahoshi cards rather than Jinbei cards, which kind of bothers me. Next, we have You Are Not My Type. This is a yellow event Merfolk Fishman Island counter. If your leader is Shirahoshi, give it to one of your leaders that counters 4,000 power during this battle. Trigger, KO to one of your opponent's characters with 2 or less. Ultimately, just a really cool Fishman counter card. Not bad. We also got some brand new Impel down cards. I think we have 2 new Impel down cards in this set, which is like huge news if you are a Magellan or a Hannibal fan, which is kind of cool. We have Little Sadie. This is a purple character, 2 cost, 2k power, 2,000 counter Impel down type. On play, -1 Dawn. You may return with a specific number of Dawn cards you Dawn deck to hand. If your leader's Impel down type, rest one of your opponent's characters with 3 or less. This is just a generic 2k counter that allows you to basically deal with your opponent's blockers that are 3 or less. I wish they said 4 or less. However, it's just 3 or less, so keep that in mind. Overall, a really good 2k that you can bounce with the lovely Hannibal leader effect, which is pretty nice. And overall, a pretty decent card. We also got a new Nico Robin. This is a 3 cost, 4k power, 1,000 counter Straw Hat Crew. 2 Dawn, when attacking, up to one of your opponent's characters gains -2,000 power to the end of the next turn. This is basically just an updated version of the Nico Robin from the original Starter Deck 1/OP11. This is new support for that red Luffy structure deck leader. There's actually a couple of red Straw Hat cards that are like support for that leader in this set, which is pretty interesting. Next, we have Charlotte Parleen. This is a 3 cost, 4k power Wisdom, 1,000 counter, Merfolk Fishman Island Sun Pirates, blocker. You may rest one of your opponent's characters that cost 1 or less on play. So, again, it's a 3 cost, 4k blocker. That is a Merfolk Fishman Island Sun Pirates. This card's made for the Jinbei leader. I just don't think it's good enough, though. Like, this is a blocker that rests one of your opponent's 1 cost characters. And that's all it is. This is a 3/4 blocker. I feel like we have better 3/4 blockers in green. Next, we have Aladdin. This card's not bad. It's interesting, but at the end of the day, it's not great either. It's a 4/5 / 1,000 counter Merfolk Fishman Island Sun Pirates. When this character will be KO'd by your opponent's card effect, trash 1 card from your hand, then rest 1 Dawn. If you then play 1 Fishman type or Merfolk type with a cost of 6 or below from your hand. So I like that this card kind of cheats out Fishman or Merfolk cards, My biggest issue with Aladdin is that it's not even resting the one Dawn because your leader would be able to do that. The issue with this card is that you need to trash a card from hand in order to do that. So not only do you have this character die, you have to then rest the Dawn, trash a card from hand, and then you get to play a Merfolk card from hand. That's technically a -2 in order to do that. Not to mention, this is only if this card is KO'd by your opponent's card effect. It's only a 4,005k character. They could easily kill this thing with by like card effect with battle. They can easily just run this thing over. Now I will say, if you're using Jinbei to restand this card constantly, then yes, then they can probably kill it by card effect. Then you can do the leader effect and cheat out a 6-cost character that includes Jinbei, which is not bad. However, I feel like it's just not good enough. I don't know. It's just another weird card. Next, we have Shu. This is a 4-cost 5k Navy blocker. Once a turn, when your opponent declares an attack, you may activate his effect. If that character was a slash attribute, give 5,000 power during this battle. You heard me right. This card says, hey, if I go against slash characters as a blocker, this card becomes a 410k blocker, which is kind of crazy. So I guess it's another reason to pay attention to like the attributes again. There's a couple of cards that got revealed that are just like that, like this new 5-cost Z, and it's kind of weird. So let's talk about this. So next we have Z. This is a new 5-cost film Neo Navy card, 5/6. 1 Dawn when attacking. Up to one of your opponent's characters with special attribute gain minus 5,000 power this turn. So this is a 5/6 that says, hey, if you put a Dawn on me and I attack a character that has special as their attribute, you basically give them minus 5k power until the end of the turn, which is kind of crazy. I don't know how many special characters there are, but there you go. So I guess if you're going against a deck that has special characters, this Zephyr is made to beat the shit out of them. Next we have Kami. This is a new 1-cost Merfolk Fishman 1k. Oh no, it's a 2k 1-cost character with 1k power. Once a turn, on your turn, when your opponent activates an event or trigger, you may activate his effect. If your opponent has 2 or more life cards, trash the top of both players' life. I don't know why you'd ever want to do that. Like, why would you want to trash your own life? Hey, this just seems like a generic 2k counter card. But there you go, I guess. If you really want to, like, trash each other's life for some reason, I guess Kami can do that. I just don't know why you would ever want to. Next, we have a brand new Charlotte Ann. It's a new 1-cost, 1,000 power, 1,000 counter, Big Mom Pirates card. And this character is, if you have a character other than Ann on field that's Big Mom Pirates type, this character gains blocker. It's just a 1-cost, 1k blocker. Pretty cool. Next, you have Hannibal. This is another Impel down type character. 5,000. Let's go. 5,000 power, 5-cost, 1,000 counter. Impel down type blocker. On play, if your leader is Impel down type, play a character with Impel down type with a cost of 3 or less from hand. This card kind of pisses me off. Like, you made it a 5-cost 5k character with 1,000 counter. Why couldn't he cheat out a 4-cost or less from hand? Like, I get the idea you want to cheat out the 3-cost Stussy, I think that's her name. Not Stussy, what's her fucking name? We just went over her. You want to cheat out the 3-cost fucking, it's the BMS chick. What is her name? We just saw her. What is her name? Little Sadie. I guess you want to cheat out the 3-cost Sadie, who can then cheat out a Jailer Beast. But why not just cheat out the Jailer Beast for yourself? One of the biggest issues with the Impel Down deck is that the Jailer Beasts feel clunky. This card could have been so much better if it could just cheat out Jailer Beast, but instead it only cheats out 3,000 power. Oh, not 3,000 power. 3 cost or less characters. So at the end of the day, the only card that's relevant to this card can cheat out is Sadie, and Sadie is already a 2k counter that you want to keep in hand. I don't know. It's okay. Whatever. Next, we have Barry Goods. This is a 4-cost 5k power special 2k counter Navy. On play, your opponent places 3 events from their trash or bottom of the deck in any order. I don't know why the fuck you would ever play this on play effect. Your opponent places 3 events from their trash or bottom deck in any order. I feel like you're just shuffling back their events, and the only decks that really play events really want to shuffle back. They really don't want you to shuffle back their events. Like, this only like hurts Nami, I think, because you're technically putting 3 of their events onto the bottom of the deck, thus they're having more shit to deal with. So I guess this card is like a tech card to deal with like Nami in particular. But besides that, like, I don't want to put freaking Ice Ages. Like, if you're going against a black deck, I don't want to put Ice Ages onto the bottom of their deck. I don't want to put fucking really good events onto the bottom of their deck, because if they manage to get to those events, I'm screwed again. So I don't know. Very good. You're not that good, I think. Besides against Nami. Next, we have Tashigi. This is a new 1 cost, 1k power, 1000 counter. After main, you may rest this character. If your leader is Navy type, give up to all your opponent's characters with a Navy type 2000 power during his turn. It's just another 1 cost Navy Tashigi. I guess giving 2k power as a 1 cost character isn't bad. However, I can only see this being used for the 5 cost Green Smoker, but I just don't think that's worth it to be playing in the deck. So overall, I'm just going to write it off as eh. Next, we have Losing My Edge. This is a new 1 cost event for Navy. Counter up to one of your leaders gains 1000 power during this battle. Then, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, add up to 1 black character with 3 or less from your below from your trash to your hand, which isn't bad. It basically says, hey, add back a card from trash to hand. Kind of cool, but ultimately it's okay. Next card we got revealed is Gum Gum King Cobra. This is a new 1 cost blue event. Counter out to one of your opponent's leaders gains 2000 power. Then, if you have 4 or less cards, that card gains 2000 power during this battle. Trigger, return up to one of your opponent's characters with 2 or less to the owner's hand. This is basically just Radical Beam for blue, but instead of going by life amount, it's going by hand size. It basically says, hey, if your hand size is 4 or less, this is a 4k 1 cost counter. And if it's not 4 or less, then, well, you have basically just a 1 cost 2k counter. So it's kind of just a worse Radical Beam, because I'd rather just have the guaranteed 4k power. I don't need to hand manipulate myself in order to do it. But I guess if your hand manipulated is already done, it ain't too bad. I don't know. I just feel like this is just a worse version of Gum Gum Giant. And I don't know why you would play this over Gum Gum Giant in a blue-purple Luffy leader, unless Gum Gum Giant actually got hit on the ban list. Next, we have 4/5 Smoker. This is a new special card, Navy, blocker, 1 Dawn. When this character cannot be KO'd by card effects or characters with special attribute. That's pretty interesting. It's just a 4/5 blocker that can't be KO'd by card effects or characters with special attribute. That's actually kind of cool. I'm not going to lie to you guys. That's kind of cool. I like that about this Smoker. Next, we have a brand new Randolph. This is the buddy or homie from the Big Mom Pirates. It's a 1 cost 2k. During your return, once returned, when a Dawn returns from the Dawn deck, up to one of your Big Mom Pirates characters gain 2 costs to the end of next turn. Interesting card. Basically, it's a 1 cost 2k that gives extra 2 costs to any of your Big Mom Pirates cards, which feels nice. I wish it was just all Big Mom Pirates currently on the field gain 2 costs. It only says up to one of your opponent's characters. You choose one of your characters to gain 2 costs. I don't know. I feel like that would help against black decks that want to reduce your costs. If you could just give all your characters plus 2k cost for the turn, that'd be pretty awesome. Next, we have Excalibur. This is a new 2 cost Navy Sword Drake Pirates card. It's red. Activate main. You 2 of your opponent's characters gain minus 2000 power this turn. Then up to one of your opponent's characters with Navy type gain 1000 power this turn. Its trigger says KO to one of your opponent's characters with 4000 or less power, which is pretty interesting. I like that this is activate main, give 2 characters minus 2k power, and then your navies is gain 1,000. That's kind of cool. I don't know what deck's gonna be playing this card, but it doesn't seem bad. If this was an event, this would be a lot like a counter card. It would be a lot better, but activate main, not bad. Next, we have a new Frankie. This is a new Frankie for 4. 2k counter Straw Hat. During your turn, once per turn, when an opponent activates an event, this turn, all your characters gain 2,000 power during this turn. Basically, this card saying, hey, if you're a red leader and you're going against a deck like Nami, this is your way to counter Nami, because basically it says if your opponent activates an event, congratulations, all your characters gain 2k power this turn, which is kind of crazy. This is, I guess, Red's way to beat Nami, and I guess the lovely other card was to way to beat Nami as well. We already discussed it just a second ago, but the which card was it? I think it was, yeah, this Berry Goods card was also a way to beat Nami for black. So I guess this is how Red's going to beat Nami, which is just, hey, just anytime they activate an event, just gain 2,000 power for all your characters, which is kind of nuts. Next, we have new Caribou. It's 1 cost, 2k power. 2k counter. Blocker. On play, discard 2 cards from your hand. I don't know why you would ever play this character. Like, if you play this character, you have to discard 2 cards from your hand. Why the fuck would you ever want to do that? Why are you going to just be a 1 cost, 2k blocker? No, instead it says on play, discard 2 cards from your hand. As a 1 cost, 2k blocker, I don't know. This card sucks. Don't play it. Next, we have Veto. This is a 3 cost, 4k power Fire King Pirates card. On play, you may discard 1 Fire King type from your hand. This character gains Rush for the turn. Again, there's a couple of Fire King cards revealed that are blue. Pretty interesting card, but I don't know if that's going to see any play. And then next we have Roronoa Zoro, even though for some reason they put a C instead of an R for Roronoa. It's a 5 cost, 5k power. Well, that's actually weird too. So it's a 5/6 on the artwork, but on here it says it's a 5/5 power. I'm going to think it's a 5/6 because it's based on the artwork. So this is a 5 cost, 6k power character with 1,000 counters, Straw Hat type. After they made once a turn, grant 1 Rested Dawn to a leader or character this turn. Not bad. It's basically allowing you to trigger your leader ability if you're playing Red Luffy, the brand new Red Luffy, because you can play this out as a 5 Dawn turn, then activate its effect to place 1 Rested Dawn onto your leader. And because there's a Rested Dawn on your leader, you can do the leader effect by placing 2 Rested Dawn onto a character, which is pretty awesome. I would say that was it, and that was a lot of cards.